So bringing yourself into a nice, comfortable standing position, feet hip distance apart. Let's just check in with how we feel by starting with a little bit of a body scan. We'll go from top to bottom. So I welcome you to close your eyes if you feel able to, or just focus at the space in front of you. So take that scan right down from the top of your head. And as you feel that scan tracking down your body, comes to your eyes, just releasing any tension so your eyes are heavy, soft. Then it comes to your jaw, releasing tension held in your jaw, maybe softly opening your mouth, unclenching your jaws, loosening your teeth. Bring that scan down to your neck, elongate your neck, and as you do that, just drop the shoulders down away from the ears. That scan travels down your trunk and over your tummy, and as it passes your belly button, you gently start to draw your tummy towards your spine, bringing that awareness to your deep center as you breathe deeply. Scanning now down past the hands and the fingertips, really sinking down away from the arms, as if candle wax is just dripping off the ends of your arms. Scan down now through your legs, releasing tension through your hips, releasing tension through your knees, and down to your feet, just gently turning the feet slightly up and out so that you're pressing into the outer border of your feet. Perfect posture. Everything is soft other than those deep tummy muscles. We hold and we breathe and we add a little shoulder shrug here. So shoulders creep up with the breath in and slide down with the breath out. Lovely. Keep it going. Up with your breath in and down with your breath out. Draw your attention back to that deep band of muscle that sits below your belly button, gently drawing in. Keep that tension as best you can for 3 more. Breathing beautifully, allowing the exhale to last just that little bit longer, because we know how good that exhale is for just regulating any overactive nervous systems. Okay, now we've got a nice active center, shoulders set down, posture set. We're going to float the arms up and over to the top and then bring them round down. So drawing a beautiful circle with your arms, 2 semicircles, making that whole circle, thinking about as the hands travel up and over, the shoulders stay connected down into your waistband and that tummy stays nice and active. We keep going, breathing in and out. 2 more. Bit of a balance challenge coming up in a moment. We've got 2 options with these. Now we're going to keep the arms flowing in this lovely circular motion, but we're going to add a leg stretch. So we'll all do option 1, shifting weight over to one leg without hitching at the hip, so you can release the other leg. So as the hands slide forwards, we slide that foot forwards as well, and then the leg slides back as the arms travel down. So take the whole of your weight across so you keep that nice nose, breastbone, belly button alignment, not hitching at the pelvis, and then the arms come down. So just shifting left and right to release that foot forward, toe gently press towards the mat, and then slide back in. For those of you that want a little more, the arms and legs travel forwards, but the foot comes off the floor this time. And we take it into a nice standing leg stretch with the leg lengthened out in front. Now in both of those, when you get to that lengthened position, squeeze your thigh as best as you can. So you've got a nice long and strong leg. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Pointed toes for both variations. Level hips, tummy nice and active. Well done, everybody. Breathing deeply. And then we're going to take it over to one side and we're going to hold it here. So toe gently pressed down on the floor, hands above the head, or standing balance, toe lifted off the floor. Now, if you're coming into that standing balance, checking in on that hip, make sure it hasn't hitched over to the side. Tummy drawn in, we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and one. Lovely, tap down and swap over second side, resetting the arms so they get a little rest. So if you have got your toe pressed down on the mat, that's not a problem at all. Really light pressure though, and then if you can, lifting that foot off the floor. We go for our balance again. Lovely. Hi Emma, watch those shoulders everybody, sliding the shoulders down away from the ears. Amazing how these shoulders will try and creep up and help us balance. And lowering down, right back again over to that first side. If you did toe tap down, challenge yourself to lift your foot this time. If you did your foot lift, see if you can bring it a little bit higher now. Really drawing the core in to lift the weight of the leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, second side. I don't know how standing on your leg can make you out of breath, but it does. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, round and down, and give those legs a nice little shake. Okay, we haven't done balance work for a little bit, so it's nice to revisit that. Right, let's just do a little bit of opening into the back with some spine twists, and then we'll come down, so some roll downs, and then we'll come down onto the mat. We're going to roll down onto the mat, so feel free to stand at the foot end of your mat and face to the direction that you're going to end up. So nice and tall to begin with. Deep breath in, exhale. Begin that downward journey towards the floor, peeling down through your spine. A little bit of a chance to remind ourselves of our breathing, remind ourselves of that present moment that we're working with, not the future, not the past, but the here and the now. And then growing tall again. Okay, go again, roll down. Take your time with these, enjoy them. Life moves really quickly. Now is your time just to slow down and move at a pace that allows your body to settle, that allows your body to relax, sending those positive signals to your nervous system. Nothing to worry about, no threat here. We're just moving with intent, allowing our bodies to open up, moving with how we feel we need to. We've got 2 more. See if you can bring these final 2 into a little bit deeper range with your forwards fold. And when you get to the second one, just hang in that forwards fold a little bit longer, working on gentle lift of your tailbone. So slightly tilting the pelvic front of the pelvis forwards and the back of the pelvis up. Feel that hit your hamstrings a little bit more, sinking into the stretch, bringing the weight into the forefoot for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bend the knees and bring ourselves into our box position. We're going to just do a little bit of side flexion here. So find yourself with your hands beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. But then we're just going to start to let those hips sway from side to side now. So imagine you've got a big bushy tail and you're just letting that tail sway from left to right. And you can add a little glance as well. So when your hips travel to the right, you just look over your right shoulder. And when your hips travel to the left, you look over to the left. Now you know what you're doing. Really embrace that movement. You're in the comfort of your own home, your living room, your kitchen, wherever you're working this evening. So just let your body move freely. No one's watching. It's just you and the movement. Breathe deeply. And then find yourself in the middle. Okay, so no swishing of that tail anymore, but we are going to tuck the tail between the legs so that the lower back lengthens. Really key this. We want to keep that back nice and level, and we want to keep our tummy nice and active. So you're gently drawing your tummy towards your spine as we take the right leg, everybody to begin with, and we're going to lengthen that right leg away, drawing the tummy in as we go. And then we're going to slide that right foot across the floor so that the leg comes outwards into a diagonal point. And then we're going to bring that leg back to the back position and then draw it in. Same leg again. So lengthen the leg out. The toe stays connected on the floor, first option. And then we slide the leg out to the side. Squeeze the thigh, keep the knee long. Draw that leg back behind you and draw in. Same side again. Now, the most important thing with this is not the range of movement you achieve, it's the stability in your pelvis. So as you're moving backwards, try not to let your back arch. And as you're moving to the side, try not to let your pelvis twist over to your left knee, no, your left hip. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to try it on the second side, but we'll have a little pause in between. So after this next one, sliding back into box and sitting back into your heels. So the moving leg glutes working hard, the stable leg lateral glutes working to keep you nice and steady. Let's try that on the second side. So same sequence. Don't worry, we've got another round with an option to make it even more challenging. But I think with this, if you do it well with control, you will feel your glutes. You'll probably also feel how it changes the load in your upper body as you need that different amount of stability depending on where your leg is. So we lengthen the leg away, keep the tummy nice and active, and we draw the leg out to the side, back in. Now, it depends how mobile your hips are, and it also depends how your glutes are working. But the goal is to bring this leg all the way in line with your hip and then back in again. But that is obviously quite hard. So work with the range that you've got. Better to work with control. I've got two more. Make sure your head isn't hanging down. You've got a helium balloon drawing your head up towards the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears, 2, and then your final one, and then just sit back into your heels and just give your hips a little sway from side to side. Good work. So we're going to try that again with the option to repeat that at the same level, or we're going to open it up a little bit and reduce the support from the floor. What that means is that we've got to work harder to control our pelvis. So if you bring your foot off the floor and you lose that control, there's no point. Bring the foot back down and work with good control. You need to have a good awareness of what's going on at your pelvis as well. So setting back up for the right leg when you're ready. Box position, head lifted, shoulders down, tail long. Tummy active, we lengthen the leg away, but then we float the foot off the floor. Straight legs, pointed toes. Try and keep your foot at hip height as you lengthen it out to the side. Really hits those side glutes. Back behind you, lower down and slide back in. Now that might not be for you. You might want to stay with the toe tapped down on the floor. Better to work like that than add the lift and lose the control. Now what you're aiming to do as well, as you slide that leg out to the side, can you keep your foot at hip height? Try not to let your foot drop down, yeah? It's a nice lift. Again, aiming to get that foot in line with the side of the hip, but I can't do that. If you can have my job. We'll swap places. Good, we've got 3 more. I'm going to come and see how you're getting on with this second round. Although everybody's gone underneath their cameras. I can see you, Pat. Great job. 2 more. And as always, a full body workout these. It's working the shoulders, working the neck, working the mid-back. And 1 more. Beautiful. Okay. Sit back in between. Take the weight out the wrist. You get a little chance just to rest. And then second round, second hip, back in your box position. Okay, so lengthen out behind, maybe keep the foot down, maybe lift and float to the side and back in again, breathing deeply. Lovely. Lengthen tummy to spine, lift, slide. Imagine you're sliding your leg along a table. 4 more. Shoulders down, head lifted. Really kind of feel how those glutes almost light up in different ways depending on where your hip is, where your foot is. 3. And that stable leg as well, working hard. Your legs should be feeling tired now. 2. And 1 more. Well done. When you finish this one, come back in and sit back into your heels and give your bottom a little wiggle, swishing that tail from side to side again. Enjoy that feeling of movement in your body. Okay, let's just walk the hands to the left and push the hips to the right so we can kind of sit into that hip, that outer hip that's just worked really hard. And then we're going to walk the hands to the right and we're going to push the hips to the left. Nice work. Okay, we're going to bring it onto our backs now, do some abdominal work. So set yourself up in a rest position and just find yourself doing some pelvic tilting just to open up the small of your back. So you've got that little sponge that rests in the arch of your back. Can you squash that sponge for me? But then release, take the pressure off and on, off and on. Just enjoy that movement for a little bit. Now I want you to think back to where we started and how we were taking the arms and the legs in those big circles and stretching the legs away. Well, we're going to repeat that on our mats now with some variations to build up. Can focus a little bit more on the control around the pelvis. So finishing this pelvic tilt somewhere in between, gentle pressure on your sponge without squashing it completely. Breath in to prepare, exhale as you gently start to contract just below your belly button. And we're going to start with the arms now. So make sure your ribs stay connected to your waist. We're going to float the hands up towards the to the top of your mat, and then round the side of your mat and down towards your feet again. So just drawing that nice big circle. I haven't got enough space in this room. Now, as those hands come up and over, really think about the position of your rib cage. Try not to let your ribs flare upwards. We want to draw the rib cage down, especially as those hands come up and over. And it's the strength in your abdominal wall that does that. So imagine 2 spring coils connecting your ribs towards your pelvis and tighten those spring coils up, especially as those hands come overhead. Right, let's start to add the legs now. So as the hands come up and over to the top, we're going to take one leg and start to slowly slide it away until the knee is stretched out and your toes are pointed, quads are nice and active. And then as the hands come back up again, we're going to draw the heel back in. So hands come over the top, foot slides away, hands come round, heel slides in. Hands over the top, foot slides away, hands come round, heel slides in. Sorry, I'm struggling with this because my room's not quite big enough. Must not have done this exercise for ages. Okay, keep it going. This is your first option. Okay. We're going to alternate the legs. So taking it from left leg to right leg. Most importantly, keeping that beautiful control at your pelvis. So you've got a glass of wine resting on your waist. Keep that glass of wine nice and level. As you alternate, we'll go for 2 more. Well done, everybody. And 1 more. Great work. Okay, give your knees a little hug to reset in between. So that was our kind of first option, which you, of course, can repeat. But we're going to take it now and we're going to open things up a little bit. So we just did the option where we were sliding our foot along the floor. Now we're going to take that leg stretch and we're going to lift it up in the air. So we start as the hands come up and over, we take the leg up into a tabletop position, and then we stretch the foot away as the hands come over to the top of the mat, and then we fold the leg back down into tabletop position and lower it down as the hands come down to the side. So hands come up to shoulder height with your tabletop. Leg stretches away as the hands reach over to the top of the mat. leg folds back to tabletop as the arms sweep to the side. And then as the arms sweep down towards the floor, your foot places down as well. So tabletop, lengthen. So there's a kind of few different stages to the movement, but try and let it flow, which is a challenge, isn't it? Coordination is always hard. More parts of the brain having to work, more of a subconscious movement, but that's what we want, because we want all of these beautiful, efficient movement patterns to be able to work without us thinking about it. So when we're gardening and we're doing the DIY, we're doing the housework, our bodies are using all of these methods that we build on in our Pilates to help keep us strong, keep us efficient, keep us injury-free. One more on each side. Exhale as the leg comes away. Okay, then we're going to hold. So you've got your leg away, hands over to the top. Option to keep the leg high or take the leg a little bit lower. Now, if you've gone for that low option, make sure that the two things haven't happened. Your back hasn't arched and your ribs haven't flared. So gently pressing down, watch the shoulders haven't crept up to the ears, tummy to spine. 5, 4, keep going, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the arms round, bring yourself back down with your foot set up for your second leg. So tabletop, arms up, and then hands over, leg stretch, either with the foot high or the foot comes down lower. Nice slow count. 5, 4, keep that back gently pressed towards the mat, keep those ribs connected to your waist. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Sweep the arms round and down and catch the legs and hug them in towards your chest with a gentle rock from side to side. Great work. Okay, we're not quite finished with that sequence, but we're just going to have a moment here just to twist out the back. So place your arms to the side, feet and knees together, and just start to allow your knees to gently rock from right and then to left. Inhale, exhale. So you have two options there. You've got the heel slide with the foot on the mat, or the heel slide with the leg in a tabletop position. We're going to add in 2 more levels now. So you don't have to do these levels, but they will challenge your lower back a little bit more. Okay, so we set up in tabletop and we hold our tabletop. So the tabletop's really going to challenge that lower abdominal wall. So one leg stacks over the knee and hip. Second leg steps up, knee and hip. We can squeeze the legs together because we're not going to move them. Now make sure the legs don't start to travel away or collapse in. We keep that beautiful position. And maybe you've got your heels just gently resting on a chair if it works for you. Maybe you maintaining your tabletop. Lots of options. If this doesn't work for you, go back to one of the rounds before. Okay, when you're ready, coming back to those lovely arm circles, up, round and down. Breathing in, exhaling. The hardest bit is when those hands come overhead, yeah, because that's when the abs get stretched and that rib cage wants to flare up, that back wants to arch, but we're controlling it by keeping a nice strong and active core. Keep it going. Any point you need to, bring those knees in, give them a hug, reset and go again. Everybody's doing great. Wonderful. Lovely, lovely double tabletops. Keep it going. Nearly there. We've got one more round after this, and then we'll just have a short moment just to finish off with some stretching. So last little bit of energy, and then you have served your Tuesday evening well, given yourself a little bit of time to focus on mind and body. We're going to do 3 more big circles. 2 more. Okay, now I'm going to give you the option to rest, but I am going to show you the next level. Quite a big step up now. So we add that leg stretching on one leg, but keep the other leg in tabletop. Alternate to the second side. Now you can still add that option of not lowering the foot quite so low. Keep that foot high if you need to, but if you want to challenge your back, bring that leg all the way down towards the floor without touching down and keep that back nice and level. You should feel those abs working hard. And if you find that it's too hard, go back to an option before. Most importantly, keep your back feeling comfortably challenged. Your back is going to want to arch with the weight of your arms and your legs, and your challenge is to stop that from happening. Okay, we've got 2 more on each side, and then we're going to finish with a cheeky hold. These are tough, so they might not be for you. Maybe you're staying in your double tabletop and watching your arms, or maybe you've got one foot on the mat and you're just working with this or this. Okay, 2 more on each side with whatever level you're doing. 2 more big arm circles. Sorry, I meant 2 more in total. And then we're going to take it into our hold here. So hands above the head, legs stretched away in whatever option. Maybe feet on the floor, maybe one leg lifted, maybe 2 legs lifted, maybe just in a double tabletop. Keep holding though. Squeeze that thigh. If you've got a straight leg, make sure the tabletop's not drifted away for 3, 2, and 1. Back in. Second side, final side, whatever you've got left now. Strong backs with this for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Now bring those knees in towards you and give yourselves a well-deserved stretch in the lower back. Good work, everybody. So progressive loading through those abs there. Lots of options. You did great, whichever option you chose. And lots of ideas of how we can just generally make things more of a challenge. Let's take it into our full body stretch now. So feet on the floor, lengthen your feet away from you, bring your hands over to the top. Wonderful feeling of length from fingers to toes. And then just allow your arms just to soften, resting by your side wherever they feel comfortable. Maybe that's by your waist. Maybe it's out to the side if you've got the space. Arms facing up, feet falling away. Let's breathe here. We have not long, probably about 30 seconds, just to see if we can let our bodies rest and our minds settle. So inviting you to close your eyes and just breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then when you're ready, a little bit of movement to fingers and toes. Sorry, I could have stayed there a lot longer. I remembered I was teaching a class. Fingers and toes, get them moving gently. Bring your breath back to its normal rate. And then just slowly slide your heels in and turn onto your side. And then bring yourself up to sit.